AHAVA blessings and welcome to this weekly guidance, Desert Rose guidance. We are going to be talking about starting our week on the 23rd and finishing on the 29th and what is happening, right? And so we are all very well aware of the new moon in Scorpio and the solar eclipse. So I'll be talking a little bit about that and then tying all of this lunar energy with a Desert Rose teaching and guidance so that we can connect with these teachings for this lunar week. So we follow in our school the lunar cycles using the Aramaic technology of the moon. The moon represents our incarnation, the soul incarnated in this life. And as we work with the phases of the moon, we understand the zodiacal frequencies that are always giving us an opportunity to feel something, to embody an emotion that can teach us something, for an opening so that a wisdom teaching can be revealed. And so for the Desert Rose teachers and the Book of Formation, it is believed that the Aramaic Hebrew letters created everything. And so they created the zodiacal frequencies as well. So let's start with today, which is the 23rd. And Sunday the 23rd, we still have, well, the moon is in Libra and we are still in the balsamic moon, right? We are in the Sitka. And as I said in my video last week, this is the most powerful moment for regeneration, for cell regeneration, for healing. The blood is purified. This happens naturally on the lunar cycle, this part of the lunar cycle. And if we really, excuse me, align with this, this energy coming in this lunar cycle, and we become aware of the healing that can happen within us, we can even use it to our benefit. So take little moments throughout the day to rest more, to drink more water. Remember the moon affects the water element, the energy, the emotions. Eat very healthy, do a lot of exercise, meditation, stillness, because this is the time for regeneration. And also, if we look at this lunar cycle, the balsamic moon, the Sitka, connected to the Libra, it is about our regenerating something within us that has to do with our energy field that allows us to communicate with everything that is around us and beyond us. You know, where Libra is that higher octave of communication, which we can communicate with nature, with people, with my drum, right? With our car, with our home, with money, with light beings. It is that higher octave of knowing how to be in relationship. And so to be in relationship and to have that beautiful communication, there has to be an energy reset, a regeneration. So it is an important time, Sitka, for that energy to be regenerated, and so that we can go into the new cycle with more energy and a new perspective. So let us take time and allow this this lunar cycle to give us its medicine. And so on the 25th, we go into the new moon in Scorpio. And we go into the Rikan, the void, right? So that this is the emptiness. This is the black light. This is the black Madonna, right? This is the infinite potential of creativity that we have and knowing that we are infinite. Now, this new moon in Scorpio brings the solar eclipse, right? And solar eclipses happen on new moons, and they're not as intense as the lunar eclipses. And this one in particular is very interesting because as we go into this void, we are still feeling the energy of the Venus star point from the 22nd, right? Which helped us align Venus and the sun within our heart. So there's been a very, very, very powerful heart opening within us. And maybe some of you are experiencing more happiness, maybe you feel lighter, or your dreams are coming back, your desires are coming back, right? Something happened there on the 22nd, and there was a heart opening. So we're going into this solar eclipse and this new moon moon in Scorpio with a heart opening. Now, when we have solar eclipses and lunar eclipses, the energy field of the planet is open, which means more than open, the rays and the energy of the solar eclipses can go through the electromagnetic field. So we do get different upgrades and different energies, and this is intense, galactic energies. And depending on what you need in this moment for your evolution, what your body needs, you may get even upgrades from the Pleiadians, from Sirius, from just different energies, from the black light. And so it is important to know this. Our ancestors tried not to be outside too much when there was a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, just for this reason. The energy is already intense, so they tried not to go outside too much. We are open anyway now in this age of Aquarius, so if you're outside, right? But just to let you know, and let's talk a little bit about this. We know that Scorpio is all about power, sexuality, and our sexual energy, right? And connecting with our sexual energy and purifying that sexual energy. It is connected to the sexual organs. And for me, Scorpio is a very, very I respect this frequency so much because it has so much power, and we know the power it has in the light, and we know the power it has in the shadow. It's not very good shadow, right? But we're focusing on the light here, and the letter, the Aramaic letter that created Scorpio is Nun, and Nun represents Yeshua. Nun represents the fish, and the fish is the key that Yeshua gave us to open the portal into the divine feminine wisdom. And this is a very, very important Desert Rose teaching, because previously in the mystery schools, they had been using the Ankh, and the Ankh was only allowed to certain initiates. But the fish, Yeshua said, everyone can access the fish. Everyone can access through this key, the divine feminine wisdom. And the fish represents the cosmic yoni, right? That entrance into that divine feminine wisdom when we open up, right? And when we allow Lady Wisdom, Chokmah, Shekhinah, the divine feminine presence, to penetrate us. So this new moon is about a sense of being penetrated with the solar eclipse, penetrated with something very, very, very beautiful that will push us into a journey or into a longing for the embodiment of more wisdom. And again, if we align to this cycle with awareness, we can even be more open and allow ourselves to be penetrated. And anytime there is a new moon with an eclipse, the seeds that we plant on that new moon are intensified, right? So anytime you do we plant any seeds on this solar eclipse, just remember that the intensity of the planting, and also the light that is holding these intentions, is very powerful. So we can be mindful. And really, on a solar eclipse with a new moon, sometimes we don't know what is the next phase of our life, or what we really want to bring in, what we really want to manifest. But when we have a solar eclipse, the solar eclipse knows. And on a subconscious level and unconscious, the solar eclipse will be pushing us to manifest the seeds that are planted. And these seeds have been blessed by this Venus star point on the 22nd, whereas the 22-10-22 is the purification of the seed for the embodiment of the Magdalene consciousness. So it's a very, very beautiful moment. And then we go into the waxing crescent, which is Dakya, purity, with the moon in Sagittarius. Dakya is such a powerful moment as well in the cycle, the moon cycle, according to the Aramaic technology, because Dakya is all about sovereignty. It's all about the purity of an energy. So we go into this cycle embodying the pure energy that we receive in the new moon. And this is very important because as we move on in a lunar cycle, the energies that we start to embody are the teachings, and they come mixed with our feelings, with our emotions, which is part of the learning process. But these 3 or 4 days of Dakya, we're holding the pure energy of that Scorpio new moon cycle, the pure energy of creation in the womb, the moon of Scorpio, which represents that we're holding the purity of our sexuality, the purity of our sexual energy, the purity of our power. And that purity of our power is a power within and a power in a circle. It's not a power over something, right? Which can be that shadow of Scorpio. It's a power within, of looking within, right? Of finding that eternal power within. And it's a power that we always hold. We're just not aware of it, right? And so we finished the 29th this week, and we're still in Dakya. We're still in this waxing crescent with the moon in Sagittarius. And a guidance that I wanted to give for this week that I think is very important, and I will be giving the mantra to chant for the new moon cycle in Scorpio. You'll receive that on the 25th in this beautiful YouTube community. A guidance that I think is very important for this week is about consecration. There's so much power that we are given as well, right? Scorpio is about power. There's so much power, not just that we cultivate within us, but we are given power. We have the different Devis, we have the light beings, we have our ancestors, we have the energy of the stars. And when there is a certain alignment of beauty and communication, conscious higher light communication within our lives, we are granted a power that is heavenly. And this is very connected to that Venus star point that we experience as we go into the new moon, and we're cultivating this new cycle with that energy. And that has to do with consecrating every moment in our life, consecrating the home that we live in, right? Making it beautiful, burning the incense, burning the resin, making it the temple, consecrating our kitchen, consecrating our garden, consecrating the front of our house, making this temple space around us a place where the Devis, the light beings, the light creation can come in and communicate with us, right? Because what is surrounding us in our energy field and in our auric field is more than just our own energy, right? And so if we start to live a very consecrated life, understanding that not only, it's so important, of course, that the temple be within, and no matter in what circumstances we are in, that temple is an inner temple. And with this inner temple and our communion with the Shekhinah, with the divine feminine presence, we strengthen our relationship with AHAVA, the divine mother, father. But just feel what is around you. Feel it. And close your eyes for a minute. Feel, is it uplifting you? And I'm not talking about the city you live and the people you're around. Your immediate space, your energetic space, is it uplifting you or not? And so what we do to help us receive the power of alignment is to consecrate the space around us and make it holy, make it sacred, make it a temple. And when we have this consecrated space around us, that can be our home, right? We're allowing and inviting the light to come in. And that light brings us into alignment. And that alignment grants us power. It is power of the power of light creation to really receive the gifts that we have signed up for, to really receive the next journey that we are embarking on, to really receive health, beauty, feeling good, awakening in desire, right? And so let us make a space. We have access to the Nun. We have access to the key of Yeshua, to the fish. We have access to the divine feminine wisdom in this powerful week. And if we consecrate our space, if we make our space holy and bring in a certain quality that will allow the light creation. When I say light creation, it could be through the Devis, it could be through the elementals, it could be through the light beings, it could be through the zodiacal frequencies that want to come in, the planets, the Pleiadian energy, Venus. Whatever needs to come in will come in, and that will bring us into an alignment of light communication. Right? We speak about light language, but there is light communication. When we are being granted gifts and power through the light. So I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful week. And I will be sharing a beautiful mantra on the 25th in the morning that you can practice for this lunar cycle. And if you would like, I'm also going to leave a few links down below in the video if you want to do a particular body practice or different body practices for this week to align ourselves with the energy. I suggest doing practices that are very feminine, and it is for men and women, very feminine, very flowy, where our energy can expand and we can feel very, very good. Working with the spine a lot, since our kundalini, our sexual energy, is activated, in really taking time to just put our hands in our womb space and allow the breath to go into the womb space and hold this breath here and feel our energy here, because this is going to be activated here by this Scorpio new moon during the whole lunar cycle. And so as I leave you in this video, I welcome you to the solar portal of Scorpio. Have a beautiful week. AHAVA.